Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to FM22 Youth Factory. This is episode 75, and it took us 74 episodes to get here, but we are now going to play our very first game in the top flight of Norwegian football. We have yet to get anywhere near European competition. That is still some ways off. In fact, in reality, this is a league that has a significant gap between it and the tier below. And in that significant gap, we are seeing almost constant yo-yoing. The teams that go down come right back up. Teams that go up go right back down, especially the teams that go up. So with this yo-yoing happening, can we get beyond that typical mold? Right now we are picked to finish the season dead last. We are the weakest team coming in on paper, and while we did, after going professional finally, improve drastically last season, it's going to take another very drastic improvement if we are going to finish above last place. I'm going to start the season with our standard tactic to see how we compete. If you go out to get wins, you're more likely to get them than if you are sitting back. But if we are getting totally overmatched, we might have to make some adjustments, because in reality there are players that are well beyond our level in this league. So can we develop rapidly to get competitive, or are we going to have to sit back, develop a second tactic that involves parking the bus a little bit to try to squeeze out some points? Unfortunately, our very first game of the season is going to have two major difficulties. One, third place Rosenborg from last year, who were just 3 points off the championship, is our opponent in the first game, but at least we're at home. And then we have had a wide range of injuries to open our preseason, and a couple of them more than just minor, and many of them just in the last few days. In fact, we've almost had daily injuries. I think this has a lot to do with the fact that it's been A, preseason, and B, we're a full-time team now, practicing daily, and it is putting a lot more on the players. But that's also where we're getting that rapid development from. But we need that squad depth a lot more now. Big problem for us, though, is we're limited to 25. That makes it so much harder, because if you have two deep, that's already 22. That's only 3 reserves for the squad. And we've got a lot more than 25 players. In fact, we only had 4 players loaned out here during the transfer season. So there's a lot of guys that I was trying to get out that didn't. We've got a lot of unregistered players. But anyway, the rotation, definitely some changes. 4 guys in, 4 guys out. Fawoli is a big upgrade over Gillo, though. Hole got his kind of first start in the last game of last season, but then Hermansen and Andreasen. Andreasen with an injury. Hermansen, we've had an upgrade. Murbakken, back from loan, is going to be that guy, and hopefully he'll take off, because Ostby's been that guy in the midfield for a long time, and he's capped out forever ago, and our midfield has become a major weakness for us. Let's see if it'll grow this year and get a bit better for us. Good crowd on hand for the season opener. Over 3,000 in our 6,000 seat stadium. It's definitely one of the biggest crowds, if not the biggest crowd we have ever had in this stadium. So that's a good sign. But of course it's the home opener. So what happens in the second game we play at home? How far does the crowd size drop? How much of this audience, as we've given up a goal already here in just the 8th minute, how much of this audience is those oppositions? That's just one guy who's getting outrun. Jonas Gay, who's marking Olcha, is chasing him down and just can't get in front of him. Just straight up gets beat. So, not a good start to this one at all. Is it just the top teams that are going to do this sort of thing to us, or are we going to face this against all opposition? As Moen forced into a nice save there. Moen just barely cleared to participate in this game, one of many injuries that we've picked up. And so far, not looking great in the early performances. We've already given up pretty... Not sure why things are stuttering so bad at the moment, but okay, whatever. Oh, wide open. Mullen scores on Moen. I'd rather say Moan, because that's how I feel after that one. One player. The Lions push it up. Who's our number 5? Olim in his very first start. Olim just hanging back 5 yards below everybody else. He's nervous. Let's give him some encouragement, see what happens. Yeah, because he completely screwed us on that goal. It would have easily been offside. You know, they had 3 guys our side of every single other defender beside him. 3 or 4 guys. Homedale retreating nicely to pick up possession there. Finally, we're seeing some good movement. Homedale's needed to cut that score in half. He needed to cut that deficit in half there. That was a gimme. That was such an easy goal chance. And Homedale misses that one up big time. And, you know, you got guys with morale down. That's going to be one of our biggest problems here because, one, Olim makes a big mistake, and then Homedale makes a big mistake. Otherwise, yeah, it's a 1-1 game right now. It's a 1-1 game if we don't have 2 key mistakes. They are beating us, but their XG isn't even 1. We're not that far off. We do have a majority of the possession. So even against a top side, we could and should be more competitive than we have been. Take away those mistakes, like I said, and this is a different ballgame. And we're very much in this thing. So we'll see if we can just clean things up. I don't think we're getting... They're not running circles around us in any way. Good possession to start the half. Almost through for Homedale there, but they just intercept that one and take a free kick and put it in the back of the net. That was from a relatively dangerous position. Mullen should have done better with that, though. But he gets it up over the wall. The wall just stands there, so that's really... I think if the wall jumps for it, that's a block. And no danger. And now we trail 3-0 in the early minutes here. Homedale, great position. He's got somebody cutting through, but then they stop. If they continue to that cut, it's a goal. Homedale does get on the board, and, you know, you're looking at this one, and it should be 2-2. So, again, with even though we are down by a couple goals here, it's one of the 3 best sides, and has been. I think they won the title the year before last, and they only missed by 3 points last year. So we are playing one of the best opponents we're going to play. I'm not expecting to hang with them. It's Bodo Glimt that we're going to try to hang with. It's Stebeck, maybe. They're going to be on the edge. But Hamcam, it's going to be the bottom half of the league, Sarpsborg, that we're going to be looking to play with this season. I don't expect to take too many points. Offside, flag is raised. That was just offside. Actually, no, he's offside the whole time. He never even gets onside at any stage in that one. So, fantastic free kick there. Sarpsborg and Hamcam, that game's going crazy. Bergam, Homedale again. Yeah, we're okay. Now, let's start thinking about some changes here in these final 12 minutes. I don't think, let's hope we, stop this play at the moment, but how are we looking otherwise? Merbacken is struggling a bit, so let's just bring somebody in, give them a chance. Hull has had his first start right at the end of last season, so let's bring him on. Might as well at this point. I don't think we're coming back, so let's get the young guys out there and start getting them to develop. Modeste. Let's bring on Dubois, our other newbie. Double sub sounds good. Go from there. And we forced him out wide. But get a good shot off. That's the thing. These guys are finding opportunities where it's difficult too. Their XG still has not exceeded 1 for this game, and ours is very much almost, right there. We still have a possession advantage. We'll be okay. Like I said, 2 big mistakes are responsible for a goal each direction. Otherwise, this would be a 2-2 game. So we would have drawn this game if not for 2 key mistakes. And we've had some chances. Ooh, dangerous tackle there. Got a lot of the man. It looked like he came through him to make that tackle. No foul called. That's fine. They did just hit that 1.0 XG in the end. And while not a great start, wasn't that bad. It was okay. And we're on to our 3rd game of the season now. Viking away was the 2nd game. They were the team that finished 4th a year ago. Through that quick sim, they beat us by 3 goals, so that was a bit of a stretch. But also I noticed tactically the AI picked a couple of really weak defenders like your Gillo for that. So that selection, not great. Mats Holth was still not available last game. He is available today, but only for 45 minutes. So you're going to start Fawoli, and at some point in the second half, we are planning on bringing in Holth from the bench. Bergam, free kick into the wall. So today, the opposition, Sandal. Sandal, the same team that won the title in that second tier last season. The same team that won the title here just about 5 seasons ago and is easily one of those top teams in real life. So it was a surprise to see them get relegated, but they bounced back immediately in just 1 season. But how do we fare against them? Last year we did not fare particularly well against them. Oh, wow. Penalty? That was a sure penalty from my view. I mean, he didn't get the man at all, and then the ball kind of trailed off. Maybe he did. I mean, the ball did kind of take off in one direction, but it looked like full trip, and then the ball was a after the fact thing. As rain begins to fall here, approaching the half-hour mark, we haven't totally dominated this game, but we have outplayed Sandal a bit here. Dangerous moment there. Moen forced into a huge save, though, as they get their first 2 attempts of the game. Good possession at the moment. Murbakken doing much better today than he did in that opening game. Olim as well. Dangerous play there. Thought he was offside. Don't know if the flag got raised and we played advantage. I don't think there was any advantage on that one, so it looks like it was just a missed call. Or I missed my call on saying that was offside. One way or the other. Osby in some space. Runs at it. Bergam loses it. And there's that Osby of theirs. He's a real threat as he fights our man on the outside. Again, looked offside, and this time flag is raised. Over the top for Homedale. He's going to pull it back and try to find a teammate, but he loses it before he gets the pass off. Jonas Gay on a yellow card now. Murbakken finds Bergam. He's going to get a chance at the shot there, but it's blocked. Cleared all the way back to our defense, and we are going to get another shot at it. Modeste with the short cross to Janssen, and Janssen with the header on target, but from that angle, from that distance, a little hard to get too much on it. You get a decent amount behind it, but it's halftime. 6 shots to their 3. XG is equal, though, as we've only managed to get one of those on target. We are definitely winning the pass completion and possession battle. The yellow cards and the foul battle is absolutely going our way. They have 16 fouls with 4 yellow cards. This could be a game that they finish with 9 or 10 players. Let's hope that's the case. All right, here we go. Second half now underway. Janssen, Osby, we're still finding that extra space in that midfield, so that is good. Tactically, things working out so far against Sandal, but that long ball over the top. It's going to get to the byline. I don't know why Sabra's going to fake an injury there. That was rather silly of him. It looks like he was just trying to shield the ball from Fawoli, and Fawoli was easily there, but the guy throws himself on the ground and whines and cries like he's Neymar. And gets the call, like Neymar so often does. Saw a recent post from somebody whining that Neymar's rating is the same as Son, and I was like, are you kidding me? Son is 10 times, that's offside, flag raised, 10 times a player that Neymar is. And Neymar's physical rating for FIFA should be a 1. Should be an absolute 1. The wind blows, and he falls over and has his entire career. And if he has other skills, I don't know what they are, because he's too busy falling over in the wind for me to notice. I know he's got some talent, I know he's got some skill, but nobody falls over like he does in the whole world. He's the weakest player on the planet. I know it's diving, but that's if you're going to go down anytime anyone's near you. Bergam, goal! That's the reputation you earn. That's the reputation you get. And we take the lead here. Done talking about it. Moving on. Couldn't tell, I'm not a fan. Homedale, great setup for Bergam on that one, and Homedale was onside. He had been offside for a moment, but he retreated. He was already well on, he was at least a yard onside at the time that the ball was passed, but that movement set that up, and then we've now got to think about the result here. He's tired and on a yellow card, so we'll make that one. Fawoli also on a yellow card, and oh, right, Matt's Holth. Upgrade. Good. Let's start with the 2 subs, then we'll start worrying about the tactics here momentarily. Dubois, bit of a downgrade currently, compared to especially Jonas Gay is one of our best guys, but Holth is a certain upgrade, so defense just got a little bit stronger. And that's 3 young guys in the D. We have finally reshaped that, and that looked on because this guy was so deep. I thought we were onside there. Bergam blasts it into the wall. He's going to recover here. Second chance, but nobody on that right-hand side to play the ball down the line. So we have to retreat back. And now 83 minutes. I've learned something about this formation. You can't drop. We've given up so many goals when we try to go defensive with a formation that isn't built for it. We need to possess the ball up the pitch. In this case, possession is the best defense. Post Larson either got away with a foul or made a very nice play there. Great interception by Foss. Ostby clears it to no one, and then we can't win that header, but Janssen makes a nice play. Homedale loses it right away. That's offside. That's well offside. And there you go. No celebration. He knew. I do think I need to make that secondary formation, the defensive one, even if it is just, final 10 minutes trying to hang on to a lead. Even if that's the circumstances of the use for it, it's going to be worth it. But a massive 3 points here in just the 3rd match of the season. I mean, for now, that puts us on a 1 point per match ratio, and that is more than enough compared to last season. In fact, let's go look at those standings real quick from last season to see what we may expect to happen this year. Well, let's start with this year's standings. Those 3 points currently put us in 13th. Hamcam, just 1 point so far. Sondale and Hugson have yet to score. These 3 were at the bottom last year, or, with us, Sondale getting promoted. So technically we would count that as bottom. So those are your bottom sides. Tromsø as well. Strømsgodset was a little higher up the standings than they are at the moment, but Bodø Glimt, Stabæk, Lillestrøm were all these teams. Right now, those top 7 are the same top 7 from last year, with Molde right around 6th or 7th and Sarpsborg as the other one that was 6th or 7th. So the top 5 are the same top 5. And they're already starting to pull away a little bit here. Molde and Braun are the only teams left that have only played 2 games. And, they've both already either won both or won one and drew the other. So both teams, certainly strong teams. So the league's already starting to shape up for what to expect as we go through. But if we can get 3 points here and there, if we could beat Haugesund, if we could beat Sondale, if we could beat HamKam, Tromsø, and steal occasional points against this mid-tier, then, we'll easily be fine. I mean, that would put us 11th or 12th, I would think. So here's those standings from last year. 30 matches played. Now, at this moment, right, we have 1 point per match. So at that rate, 30 points would have been the grand total for last year. That would be enough. So, strictly speaking, I think that would be perfect for us. Now, what we're looking at, though, is bottom 2 automatically relegated. 14th has a playoff against the third place team from the second tier. We had that playoff a couple years ago and lost it. Last year, it was HamKam, and they won it. So for the second year running, and I think it was HamKam the year before, was it not? Maybe it was Ranheim, but either way, same scenario. So Ranheim and Kongsvinger, who went up from our division the year prior, straight back relegated. So both of the promoted teams were the ones that went straight down. HamKam, who were they there a couple years ago? I don't know. But anyway, you could see here, Sondale, obviously, and us, the two teams filling those empty spots, the relegated spots. And then HamKam, Tromsø, Haugesund. HamKam and Tromsø in particular were a bit further off compared to everybody else. And then Haugesund, Bodø/Glimt, Lillestrøm, Stabæk, Strømsgodset, and Odd were all right there within 6-7 points of each other. Pretty tight in that group. And you're going from, just under a point a game to 1 1/3 points per game. So that seems to be the target. If we can get about a point a game, we will be safe. Again, HamKam had to do the whole playoff thing, and that was quite a bit below that 1 point per game. 0.8 of a point? I think that's got to be the goal, right? So far, so good. And we've played 2 of the top sides already. Rosenborg, Viking, 3rd and 4th. We've already had the first time. We've gotten that out of the way. Vålerenga, Brann, we'll get those out of the way. Mold is the other one. I think those 5 are the ones that it's going to be really hard for us to score points against. They hardly ever lost. They didn't draw very often. They all won a lot of games, 15 to 20 games each out of 30 played. They are going to have some struggles here and there, but I just don't think we are the team that's going to offer them those struggles. Against those top 5, in 10 matches, I'd be happy with, 2 or 3 points. Because I don't think we're going to get too many in those 10 matches. It's the other 20 matches where we're going to have to score most of our points. And Sarpsborg, Odd, Strømsgodset are going to be a little tougher. In those 6 matches, if we can get 4 points, I think we'd be good. And again, that's going to leave us with a ton of work to do in the other, what was that? How many? I was already half the league, wasn't it? It was already 16 matches. We've got to play pretty well against the bottom half this year. Can be done, especially if we grow rapidly. Playing in this top flight, you're going to have some players that are so enthusiastic about the opportunity to play in the top flight. We have some young guys that are in the side. I mean, we've got a good 4 or 5 of them that are in the senior squad and going to feature and going to play. We could see some rapid development here and see a team that's a lot better by the second half of the season than it is now. That's my hope. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. And bye for now.